Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Chargers and the Oakland Raiders. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Carr will try it again on second down. Finds Roberts left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Washington, his first carry. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Carr to throw on second down. And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throwing his Carr on third down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Carr. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. From midfield, here's Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Returning, it's Benjamin. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. On first down, Darnold. It's caught on the right side, Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. He got 29 yards that time.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Darnold. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. Pretty move. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Brad Nortman on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
A good pickup there, a 22. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On first, here's Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Play action. Now it's Carr. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Derek Carrier, the one he was looking for. And it's 3rd and short. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And Cook has it, left side. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Again, it's Carr. Throw left side complete. It's Roberts. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
They'll try the counter with Washington. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Tried a little razzle-dazzle on 3rd and short. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal. They'll try to run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. Past the 10 to the 11-yard line. And that's where the return stops. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Here's Darnold now on second down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Lucky 56.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Returnable here from the 38. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. So out come the Raiders. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
Letting one fly deep for Cook. And a double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Cooper was the target there.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Darnold. Man open left side, it's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Here we go now.
Darnold on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Travis Benjamin that time. And it's 3rd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack, the first turnover.
In a sense, they're playing old-school defense right now. The new-school defense is what you said, taking the ball away.
Benjamin with it over the middle. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. 2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So the kick from here on a field goal would have been right at 53 yards. But instead, offense out there. They're going for it. On 4th down, Darnold. And that is going to be incomplete. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll start the drive with Washington. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw on 2nd down. Carr. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd down and 12. Carr on the give. It's Washington. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And now the ball's out. Carr lost it. Fumble. But I think the Raiders are going to be able to hold on to it. Yes.
On plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Here's Carr to throw. Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's 3rd down. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
And based on my math, they've only converted 1 time thus far in this game, so you can see the frustration starting to come out a little bit. 3rd downs, they've been a problem for them all game. They've got to start becoming solutions.
The Chargers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
Early in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least 1 home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. From the 50, it's Darnold. He's got his man on the crossing route. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Caleb Sturgis now for the Charger field goal. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. And Sturgis able to knock it through, and the Chargers grab themselves a 3-0 lead. The drive ends in just 3, but they'll take it. Looks like they'll head to the locker room, barring something unfortunate, in front on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they may not be jumping up and down and celebrating because they have the lead, but still, any little momentum in a game like this is important to a team, and they'll feel real good about going in and regrouping, knowing that they are out in front.
And now Oakland ready to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. They go with Washington to begin the drive. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. These offenses seemingly still back at the hotel for the first half. 3-0 our score as the second half gets underway. This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up. To about the 35-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Darnold now to throw. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. On the tackle that time, Bruce Irvin.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Darnold from the gun. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 20, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction that starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look, and now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here. But the play is actually happening over there, and that's where a running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed. And that's exactly what he did on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Carr over the middle. It's Jared Cook. A Raiders 1st down. Carr hooking up with Cook.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Carr now 8 of 17 so far, so under 50%, but he's got a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cook. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Carr to throw on 2nd down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, and it's 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
The Raiders on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 5. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is. Well, close game, 2nd half. You obviously hate to leave 3 out on the field.
Especially in a game like this when you know points are hard to come by. That was one of their best opportunities so far, and they come away with nothing.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Yeah, baby. What's tight? Tight end right. What's tight? Tight end right. Now let's go. Boo, line.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On second down, they'll run with Gordon. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeout?
Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph. And this one will be brought back to the 22. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now.
Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And this one is incomplete. Bryce Butler, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. From the gun, it's Carr. And he's got the hook up to Dylan Cantrell. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Operating from the gun. Carr. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. From the gun, Carr. He's going to launch this thing way down. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there. Carr to Cooper. 43 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. 8-7, come on. Come here. Go. 734. Go.
On second down, here's Carr. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Monday, down. 180.
Operating from the gun. Carr. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. And that is no good. Wide to the right. And this score will stay right where it is. So the folks on hand here growing a little restless with their kicking game. That's now 2 misses so far.
And in a tight game, fourth quarter, the fans aren't the only ones getting restless, Brandon. There were a few looks of disbelief on that sideline as well.
They'll start on the ground. This is Gordon on first down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Blue 90. Blue 90.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Now whistles, and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now the handoff comes to Gordon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Second and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. Instead of running, Darnold's going to throw this thing. He completes it to Henry. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The Chargers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2.
Here we go now.
Now it's Darnold. Got a man. It's complete. Williams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
Back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
He's back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And complete, right side to Cook. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Victory formation, time for the Chargers. They take a knee. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So for our visitors, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to